Hello, our dear viewers. Welcome to Youth of Today program, broadcasting live on SSPC, the program where the youth share the view only in South Sudan Broadcasting Corporation. I am Mariam Yok, and today I'm joined by one of the guests who is also the young person in South Sudan is by name Honorable Dr. Jong Anthony. He is the Minister of Trade and Industry in Warabi State and a lecturer at the University of Baragazal College of Veterinary Science. He is also serving various positions in the Warabi State as well as others positions in the country. Welcome to Youth of Today programs.
Thank you.
It's my pleasure to host you today for this youth platform.
Nice.
Yeah, Honorable, can you briefly tell us about yourself and how did you involve into the politics?
All right. Thank you very much. My name is Dr. Jong Anthony, as you put it. I held different positions: state government, former defense state program. I was Minister of Animal Resources and Fisheries, 2017. And then for relief, and again brought back as a Minister of Rural Development, Water and Cooperative. Finally, was again shifted to the Minister of Health. That was under the Fango Real Estate. And now, currently, the Minister of Trade and Industry. In fact, joining politics is a long process. And they start by the time I joined the ministry. And we start practicing politics as early as the time when we were still at the university. And in fact, there are many issues that always attract people, playing politics, especially the issues to do with our country. So I joined politics under Sudan by then. I was young, so I traveled along until now.
Honorable, you are a lecturer at the university. We termed you as academicians because being a lecturer is academicians. But now, what motivates you to be in the politics itself as a young person?
All right.
And instead of continuation with the academic issues?
Yeah, whenever you decide to join something or whenever you decide to do something, there must be a gap whereby you see that if you involve, you can be part of the solution. Joining politics, especially particularly for me as an academician, I feel like, how for guys, the politician by then, how they were, doing their business in terms of delivering services to our communities. And I saw a gap whereby a lot of things were not done the way I want it. So I decided to say, okay, if that is the case, let me also try my luck to come in so that I can perform better to deliver services to our communities. So actually I'm motivated by, to come and deliver services to our communities.
Nice to hear that too, and also to my viewer to hear that you are motivated to deliver service to the people. Let me hope that being appointed as a minister will be the channels for you to give that services to.
Exactly.
Because our topic is focusing only on investment in Warabi State,
yes.
And I want us to speak particularly the investment in Warabi State. Let us talk of that investment in Warabi State. What are some of the investment being carried on in the state as we are speaking?
Okay, thank you once again. In the state, I think there are various different investments, but I will focus much on what we start to invest on during my time. My ministry is new. It was carved out from the Ministry of Finance, and after I took off, we formed a very important committee. It's called the State Mineral Resources Coordination Committee. It's an advisory committee. It's comprised of different institutions. The Ministry of Agriculture is there. The Ministry of Animal Resources, because they are tasked with the environment, are there. And then Land and Housing, and then my directorate in the ministry.
What are your roles?
The roles of the committee is to give an advice on exploration of the minerals, extraction of the minerals within the state. And then we form another important committee, which is called the Resource Identification Committee, and that committee actually came up with a very good resources identified in the state. One of them is the hidden schemes, livestock itself, and then the gamma culture, because we got a lot of trees. and then many of them like hibiscus, Egyptica balanite, sometimes we call it desert net, and then white simsim, many of them. So per those identified resources, we managed to develop a program called Initiative for Building a State Economy.
Initiative
for Building a State Economy, which actually is comprised of all these items that I mentioned. So we approach companies to see how we can make business with them, to mobilize resources and then fund some projects of the state. So we talked to some companies, and there are some companies who have shown interest to do business with us. So on hide and skin, there are some companies who are willing to work with us, and then on gamma culture, there are companies willing to work with us, white simsim and hibiscus. So as I talk, we reach some levels in under different items. Like for gum, we went as far as forming the gum Arabic associations or gum Arabic producers, and then on hide and skin, we managed to identify all the slaughter slabs within the state and slaughter houses within the state, and we now know how much skins we can produce. We know how much skins we can produce in a day. We have an estimate of 57 skins for the large animals, and we also have 84 for the small ruminants. So when you calculate the 84 and 57, by 30 days, it's a big number of skins.
But let me go back to the committee that you formed.
Okay.
You say they're advising the advisors.
It is called State Mineral Advisory Coordination
But
Committee.
do they really advise the community, or they advise the government?
They advise the ministry, the government,
ministry,
because any extraction or exploration of the minerals, it is the work of the ministry in collaboration with national ministry and the community. So their advice are directed to the ministry, and then we approach the community, especially where the minerals are, and then we explain to the people what are maybe the roles of the communities, what are the benefits if the mineral are extracted. Assume that the minerals are found in a certain point and they need to be extracted. What do they get? The services they get. How do we obtain it? To protect the environment, maybe protect the right of the people. That is the work of that committee.
Okay, let us go to, in Warabi State, there are some of the individuals within the community who are involved in business trade within the surrounding area around them. As Minister concerned for the investment for trade,
Yeah.
how does your ministry empower such individuals to reach a national level in terms of trade?
Okay, there are many companies, there are many individuals who are doing business in the state, as you put it. What we normally do, we register the business people, being an individual or being a company, and the business differs. There are people dealing in different line of business, and there are people dealing with large-scale factories. Call them small factories. Like people are making recycling, those are welding doors, those are making windows, bricklayers, and all this. So normally what we do, we register them. Until now, we don't have a secure loan that we can use to support them. But for those who are having a product, we always collect what they have, the samples. Because the state is preparing to have a very big exhibition to show to these big companies what our small companies, these light companies, are producing, so that they can get funding from other big companies. The big companies, we enter to business with them, like I told you. Even in the state, there are a few companies who decided, to come to us, have shown us their will that they want to do business in different areas, and we register them. We have their contacts, and we engage them trainings when there are opportunities, like a call proposal from an organization to come and do something. We always lobby also for them to get capacity. When they do one work, and tomorrow and the next tomorrow, they will keep growing until they reach here.
Now it's also good. Let us come to the youth, particularly in Warabi State. There is idleness of the youth in the state. One of the burning issues that need much attention is that the youth want to be a businessman. They want to go in trade. They want to do anything that is a social life, private, but they don't have capital to begin that. that much duty.
Yes.
And we lead them into some crimes, crime activities within the area surrounding here. Other state government, how do you look on this situation?
I think I mentioned a program recently, Initiative for Building a State Economy. It is a big program whereby youth are going to be employed. One example or one area is the gamma culture production. Gamma culture production is mainly, done to target youth and women. And youth and women, because in the society, these are the vulnerable group, as you put it. They don't have any work. So we are going to provide training. We just met with the key actors here, like the Federation for Gamma Culture. We met them, and we have already youth we select on the ground. So they are going to receive training, and they will now go on to employ themselves. Okay, be tapping the gum, collecting the gum, and then board from them. Apart from this, other areas also, like the hiding screen I told you, those who are willing, they have to begin with a small number and then they keep on growing. So that program is going to target big number of youth and women. So I'm sure 100% that if the program is going to move on well, we are going to have big number of youth being employed.
Okay, Honorable, before we continue, I would like to go for a short break, and then we're going to be right back shortly. Hello dear viewers, welcome back from that short break. We're still watching the Youth Up Today platform, where the youth share the view only on SSBC, your only national broadcast in capital Cuba. I am Mayuriam York, and to remind you back with my guest in the studio with me is Honorable Dr. Jong Anthony. He's a Minister of Trade and Industry in the Warabi State and lecturer at the University of Bahr el Ghazal Veterinary Science College. Welcome back. Honorable, Warabi State is bordering United States and Lagos State plus other states surrounding there. What are the relationship in terms of business or the trades share with those bordering states?
Okay, thank you. I think we are bordering northern Bahr el Ghazal, also bordering western Bahr el Ghazal, and we are bordering like the side of the Greater Tone and United States, as you put it.
In the middle.
We are in the middle, and we are also bordering Abiy administrative area, which is connected directly to Sudan. So we share, or we have a good relationship in terms of business. Our main market, especially in Greater Bahr el Ghazal, is WOW, which is supplied from Sudan and from Juba. So from WOW to our state, we have better relationship in terms of business. This is where we get our goods, and some ways we get some goods also from Sudan. So we enjoy relationship with WOW. We also enjoy relationship with the will. Whenever there is scarcity of goods in the market, we are always allowed, to supply our market through all these borders that I count. WOW especially, I will, and then Abiy administrative area. With the United States, there is no much trade, only rare cases. There are small trades like it's only depending on livestock, not anything else on the dollar. And it's not all the time, sometimes. So in a year, a certain season, you can get people from Warab to come buy cattle from the United States, or people from the United States, they come and buy some things from Warab State. So we also have relationship, but it's not that too much, because we don't also have a main road connecting us to the United States. But WOW, and then another Bahr el Ghazal.
Yeah, actually, Honorable, in the state, the youth now are become a major problems to the peoples. They're threatening the life of the innocent peoples. They involved in like cattle raidings, who is not legally, they do it illegally. And now, how free are the trades? Because trade are just innocent people trying to buy the goods from here to there, trying to supply the states. How secure are they? Because it may happen that the youth come and attack this place, and the threat are on the roads. How do we secure the life of such the good people who supply the state?
Thank you. I think the cattle raiding is as some part of the state. It's not all over the state. Between us and Awali, there's no reported issue of cattle raiding. We don't have. And then between us and Western Barakazal, we don't have. And then the administrative area, we don't have. It's only on one side, Greater Town, which is bordering the Unity, and then the lake, and then Gorial East, which is bordering Unity. At all these corners, this is whereby the cattle raiding is always happening. But on those areas, there is no much business, as I said. And on those areas, we have law enforcement agents who are deployed there. So whenever there is business activity going on, it involves the government also to provide protection for them. Because the raiders, they don't go visibly. They find their own way, where to get free cattle or where to loot, especially from their colleagues or their counterparts, but not in business centers. So it is not affecting business actually.
Actually, apart from what you have mentioned, creating the business within the area of Warab, I want to focus only on the Ministry of Trade and Industry. In your ministry, what are your policies are you using to make sure that the business is the source of generating the income to the state? The policies that you're using as per now.
We have policies in the ministry, especially the act that we have. There are some acts that are guiding businesses, like there is recently act being introduced, 2021. It is called policy. It's actually a policy for private, small size companies, and there was already a 2012 act, which is already a law in the ministry, and there is also a law for standard bureau, hidden measures. Now to come to the business, generating business, like I told you, we always focus on the resources we have that we can trade with to generate business. Like one of the active business we wanted to initiate as far now is the exportation of the livestock to Sudan. We bought in Sudan, like I told you. Previously, there had been a business between us and Sudan, but it was not done in a legal way. It was not official. It was under individuals. Take your own cattle, you travel up to the border, you deal with Sudanese by yourself. There's no government in the middle, but now we want to own it. And we start orienting people when you have a certain number of cattle you want to sell, it is the government to take it up, okay, collect, and then we take. We have to deal as the countries, so that we also protect
the trade deals,
and the right of the individuals. Because if you are individual, you can be cheated, and you never know.
How friendly is it in Warab State for foreign investors? If someone wants to invest there and it's not nationalist of South Sudan, how friendly is it to operate there?
For us, we are open. And in South Sudan, our economy is free market. Okay. In Warab State, the foreigners are investing freely, so they are trading like any other person in the market, and they are secure with their properties. So we don't segregate. They do their business as usual, like other South Sudanese who are also doing the business.
Because before we conclude, honorables, what are some of the challenges facing the business, the trade business in the state, and your ministry itself? What are the challenges facing you there?
Okay, we have a lot of challenges. There are common challenges, I can put it that way. The common challenges, are those challenges that are available elsewhere, apart from Warab, like the issue of the illegal roadblocks that are available. Business people complain too much about the roadblocks, and then illegal taxation, especially from people who station themselves in any illegal checkpoint. You get different group, claiming to be CID, to be MI, to whatever, just name it, whatever it is. So all the collection they make are also add-on into all the items, that are the business people are bringing to the state. So it is one of the challenges that we are facing, but the state is now trying to make sure that it is addressed. We reduce the checkpoints, we only remain with major security checkpoints. So these are the challenges. The other challenge is the fluctuation of the dollar. Sometimes the dollar is up, sometimes the dollar is down. So you cannot actually fix the market, You cannot be sure that this item is sold at this price. You can't stand for 1 month or 2 months. You get today up, tomorrow down. So it's also another challenge which is facing us. The other thing is the insecurity you mentioned in some parts of the state, which we're also trying to make sure that it is addressed, come down. So these are the few challenges that are actually facing us.
Honorable, as one of the youth, young person in South Sudan, what advice could you give to your fellow South Sudanese youth and as well as the nation?
I think my advice is that people should focus on business, because that's the only way for us, to build the country. So you should, embark on walking, make business, so that they build themselves, okay? Instead of doing other things like cattle raiding, it's not okay, gambling, maybe staying idle without doing any work. So any job available in front of you, you have to take that opportunity and do work so that you fund yourself.
Thank you, Honorable, for your wonderful time with me. Before you go back to the state, tell them that SSBC greet you all there.
Thank you very much.
Our dear viewers, we come to the end of the edition. I would like to allow you to continue with the rest of the program coming from SSBC, your national broadcast only in capital Juba. I am Miriam York. Bye-bye and see you next time.
Thank you.
Thank you.